see Ryan Tannehill and the Tennessee Titans taking on Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills.
By many accounts, one of the most underrated home venues in all of the NFL resides in the heart of Nashville, Tennessee, and that's where we find ourselves at Nissan Stadium. This crowd here fired up for football as a moment ago their Titans were introduced. This should be a good one as the Titans get set to match up with the Buffalo Bills. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Out come the Titans for their first possession, led by Ryan Tannehill in his 10th NFL season and third with Tennessee.
And the former Miami Dolphin had a career renaissance in 2019 with Tennessee and carried it over into 2020. A career-high 32 touchdowns, just 7 interceptions, and those were the fewest he's thrown in a full season. And speaking of full seasons, he played all 16 games for the first time since 2015. He's got to be excited about 2021.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. 25 carries, 127 yards, and a score.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
Play action. It's Tannehill. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Tannehill. He's got his tight end, Anthony Ferkser. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 43. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And bulldozing his way through. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. After the penalty, it's Henry. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. And that's a gain of 6 on the first down run. Henry again on 2nd down. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. Now after that last running play, we've got an offensive lineman down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. So here come the Bills for their first go on offense, led by their Pro Bowl quarterback. Now in his 4th season, it's Josh Allen.
And I thought in last week's game, he found a way to win like a good pitcher without his best stuff. I mean, he did throw 2 interceptions, offset by 1 touchdown pass. Not the ratio, not the numbers you're really looking for as a QB. But finding a way to win, that's all that really matters.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. Throwing to start the drive. Allen. So that'll be complete to Breida. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Now, despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. Throwing now is Allen. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
And he's in his 12th NFL season, and he's crafty, he's savvy, he's a guy who competes for the ball. 61 catches with New Orleans last year. Very happy to be in Buffalo. A big reason why? The young quarterback, Josh Allen.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he's going to have a Bills 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Allen going to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Sanders. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run. Big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
On play action, Allen. Flushed out right. He's got the hook up with Diggs. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Stephon Diggs. His 1st touchdown on the year. And the Bills have taken the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And we see James, he will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Titans coming back onto the field for their 2nd drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get...
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Bills are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Off the play fake. Allen. And finding Emmanuel Sanders here. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
On first down, here's Breida. Big hole up the middle. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Matt Breida with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bills are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. I thought as that was developing that he might actually keep it, but the right decision, obviously, to hand the football off.
And some teams do a really nice job of taking a little bit longer at the mesh point, meaning where he's going to hand it off or keep it. Sometimes they ride him maybe a step longer than others. That allows him to make the proper decision and have the right person end up with the ball.
And it paid off with a long touchdown run. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he'll get this underneath to Henry. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now Tannehill. He completes it to Julio Jones. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That last throw moves him past 27,989 yards for his career, so that means he moves ahead of the blonde bomber, Terry Bradshaw, on the all-time list.
And boy, he loved to throw it downfield, didn't he? That's why he was the blonde bomber. Remember, he'd throw it downfield to John Stallworth and Lynn Swann. It was gorgeous. Big throws, big plays. Terry Bradshaw.
Tannehill's throw into the hands of Ferkser here. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. And CD, defensively, you're going against a hot quarterback coming off a 3-touchdown game in their victory a week ago. But what's the big key for them to try to slow him down?
You ask all the tough questions, don't you, partner? Because with this guy, if you blitz him, he takes advantage of that man coverage and burns you. But if you bring on those extra DBs, he sits back there and does what he wants. To me, it's going to be those DBs. When they catch the ball, big-time tackles really put it on those receivers.
Again, Tannehill. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Henry running right. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down. Well, this defense for the Bills, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And he will have a Titans first down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows first down. Ready for the second quarter from Tennessee, and it's the homestanding Titans in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Henry. How did he stay on his feet? And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
And Derrick Henry with the ball in his hands, what a sight to behold, because power and speed involved in every touch for him. Coming off another spectacular season with the Titans, he became the first since LaDainian Tomlinson in 2006 and 2007 to win 2 straight rushing titles, and he did it with style too. Just the 8th man to top 2,000 yards and the first since Adrian Peterson in 2012. He has his sights set on another 2,000-yard season.
The first red zone opportunity for the Titans. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I think it might be time to move to a different section of the playbook there, because back-to-back runs, both for loss. Now they have 3rd and long coming up.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Henry. And they'll rally and stop him short of the 1st down at about the 6. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. And
how'd you like to be a cornerback, having to come up to try and tackle that big man out of the backfield? Heck, how'd you like to be a linebacker or a defensive lineman, because he's as big as all of them? Derrick Henry, not utilized a whole lot in the passing game, just 19 catches a year ago. But when you swing it to him out of the backfield, look out.
Here's Bullock now for the Titan field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Bullock's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And up past the 35, a very good return, but a penalty down. That may negate all the good work. So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
Here's a toss right side for Breida. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a 1st down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
second down and 5. From the gun, it's Allen. It's caught by Davis. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Davis was drafted in 2020 to add depth to the wide receiver room, but he started to get more looks late in his rookie season. I think he's a breakout candidate here in 2021. Nice catch there.
Now a give to Breida. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And on the catch right side, this is Sanders.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. On the handoff, this is Breida. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
On back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They will run with Singletary. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. And now they'll throw with Allen. He'll dump this down to Matt Breida. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. Now Allen. Steps away to his left. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down and inside the 5-yard line. Allen now looks to throw.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for second and goal. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal? Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Touchdown, Bills. It's complete. Stephon Diggs. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Bills will add on to their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Derrick Henry and the rest of the Titans offense about ready to roll again. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
To throw again on second down. Tannehill gets this to Ferkser, the tight end. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Tannehill on third down. Henry's got it out on the left side. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7 though on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Matt Breed in the offense heading back out. It may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark. And
when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. 61 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in his first half. On second down and 4, Allen. Throw right side, caught by Davis. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Running out of the gun here, Breida. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Taylor Heineke, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. From there, we're off to check out another game, and they were losers in that one to the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray, 3 touchdown passes as his guys stay unbeaten on the year. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Tampa Bay Bucks. Leonard Fournette, 2 touchdown runs to lead the way. In the game you're watching, it was Josh Allen who was on target in that first half. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. Isaiah McKenzie now on the return. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. So here are the Bills to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Breida to get the third quarter started. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
So, Charles, you look at this offense, and really on paper, at least, a great situation for them upcoming. They're unbeaten on the year, an open week coming up after this. So I guess my question, any worry that maybe this is coming at the wrong time?
Oh, definitely I would be worried about this game, maybe more than any other on the schedule, because I know my guys are looking ahead to that open week. I've got to keep them focused on the task ahead, make sure they take care of business in this one. Otherwise, you're talking about a double trap. The trap of losing the game and then having the open week and having to stew about it.
Allen hit. He lost the football. And that might be Titan football. It is.
Well, number 1 on the list of things not to do when you're up 3 scores in the third, that right there, give the football away.
I love when you speak like that. You know how doctors talk about taking the Hippocratic oath, first do no harm? You just did the football-cratic one right there. Don't give the ball away when you have a lead that you can lock this game down with.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Henry. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Back to throw, Tannehill.
A check down here for Henry.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
So that maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but it does get them back within a couple of scores.
And at this point in the third quarter, you don't have much margin for error, and that means you can't have drives that end with nothing. Whether it's a punt, a turnover on downs, those have to go away. You have to end with a kick, either a field goal or an extra point after a touchdown.
Back now on offense, the Buffalo Bills.
And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive with a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Allen running right on the option. Out of the shotgun, Breida. And he'll be out of bounds. 72 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
Breida will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. Tyler Bass now for the point after. He's got it, and the lead swells. It's 28-6. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was Matt Breida who had the touchdown run to put an end to it. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. There's the stiff arm. Oh, he sheds himself free. Derrick Henry all alone. Touchdown, Titans. Derrick Henry. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Titans are able to close the gap just a bit. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
Tannehill going to throw for it. Pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Returning it, Isaiah McKenzie. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And certainly a valuable tool to have in your kit, Emmanuel Sanders, and he's shown us quite a bit in this one.
And that's why they want to use him immediately. You know they come out of the locker room saying, let's get the ball to him, get our offense jump-started, and in this case, it's worked throughout the game. Thus, they have the lead.
Here's Breida. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
Allen's throw is complete. So the completion good for just 3. And that's going to lead to a third down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field. That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
Here's Matt Hawk now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
Yeah, it's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. They begin with Henry. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Second down, they go again with Henry. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Here's Tannehill.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. That's taken it around the 40. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Matt Breida in the offense heading back out. He is hoping to find the end zone for a 3rd time, and we sit now in the 3rd quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
You're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. He's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory.
82 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. They'll try and run for this with Singletary. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll run here with Singletary. Singletary, a 1st down and more. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run on first down with Singletary, and they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stack?
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Devin Singletary, his first touchdown on the year.
And the Bills add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. But this one now, Charles, you'd have to think all but over.
I would agree with that because this offensive line, they've been physical from the first snap of the game, and it's taken a toll on this defense. And it was never more evident than on that play right there. They continue to move the line of scrimmage forward, and they open up enough space there to get their guy into the end zone.
An extra point by Bass, up and good.
And that pushes the lead up to 23.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Tennessee offense set to go again. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big 4th quarter hole.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
This will go to Henry out wide.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Tannehill. That's complete to his tight end, Ferkser. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Throwing again is Tannehill. He dumps it off for Henry. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
On 1st down, Foreman. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, They're able to just roam and hit.
Meanwhile, Tannehill's throw here into the hands of Jones.
And out of bounds all the way down at the 3.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Henry.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Foreman. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. This Buffalo defense has stood their ground. This is 3rd and goal.
They'll try again.
And he gets in. Touchdown, Tennessee. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Titans are able to cut into that deficit.
So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get him over the goal line.
So now Tannehill leading his crew to the line to go for 2. Tannehill looking to throw. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Bills are going to recover.
The football back to the Bills and Stephon Diggs.
And his 2 touchdowns, a big reason they're winning right now.
So meaningful when you score and it's got your team out there in front. Changes the complexion of everything you're doing. It's one thing to score a garbage time, but these count. This is a big deal, and he's making those types of plays, and I think they'll keep finding ways to get it to him.
I was just going to say probably going to go back to him. They'll run on first down. Singletary. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. To the air, Allen. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. An agile move and a nice gain, then dropped at the 25-yard line.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
on the ground. It's Singletary. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Kevin Byard up to make the tackle. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Singletary here running out of the gun. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They'll come out in the pistol. They'll look to run with Singletary. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Devin Singletary with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Bills look like they're going to be moving to 6-0 as they extend that lead even further.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Bass on for the extra point.
And the lead is now 24. That time a 6-play drive. And it was finished off by a Devin Singletary touchdown run.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively.
Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moment. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. To try again after the sack. Tannehill complete. It's Henry. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Tannehill now to throw.
That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least it'll be 4th down.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
The Bills ready to take over. And right about now, heck, they might be wishing they did not have a bye week coming up next week. It appears they're going to go into that week off in high spirits as they've got this one well in hand. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
On the give, this is Singletary. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
Right back to Singletary on second down.
And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Buffalo, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.